Centuries ago, people believed that the Earth was special. So special that people actually couldn't digest the thought of it not being the center of the universe. Today, we are actively looking for other planets that might just be composed the same as our beloved Earth. We have already located other planets that could potentially be a substitute for the Earth. The thing is, planets outside our solar system are being discovered at a phenomenal rate. Of course, all of them vary in constitution. Out of all of the exoplanets that we already know of, there are a few that could actually contend for the spot of the most similar to Earth, and in turn, most likely to support human existence. So scientists have determined that in almost every solar system, life could technically survive in what they consider a habitable zone. Planets here, at an optimum distance from their suns, have exact conditions to have water, have a mass perfect to hold down life forms, or possess an atmospheric state that could be conducive for carbon-based living forms to survive here. You know, they're the whole package, much like our dearest Earth. The planets in this zone have been collectively christened as Goldilocks. We also can't rule out the possibility of running into the occasional extraterrestrial life form if we ever actually manage to reach these planets. Today, we are going to look at some of these planets that could definitely match up with the Earth in terms of life-supporting conditions. In fact, out of the 4,370 exoplanets that have been found outside of our solar system, about 1,329 have been termed as super-Earths. Stay with us till the end as we go over some of the most Earth-like out of these. Kepler 1649c. The Kepler Space Telescope did its bit in advancing humankind's knowledge of the celestial bodies around it. Manually poring over its old records bore fruits as the whole episode revealed the existence of Kepler 1649c, which is very potentially a Goldilocks planet with a rocky surface and composition. We don't yet know all there is to know about this planet, like its exact atmospheric condition or its precise topography. But what we do know is that this planet frequently plays host to ionized radiation, which means that life will probably get killed off pretty quick. Plus, there's the tiny issue of this planet being really far away. Do drop a comment if you'd actually not mind traveling 300 light years away to get to this planet. Trappist 1d. The Trappist 1d is situated very conveniently in a solar system that is actually teeming with planets that could give the Earth a run for its money. Some may be rockier than the Earth, some might even have more water than the Earth does. But the 7 planets in this solar system that can definitely be compared up against the Earth in terms of supporting carbon-based life forms, almost all hold water in some state of matter at least. What is so awesome about the Trappist 1d that it sits right on the cusp of this system's habitable zone? Which is saying a lot since many of these ones away from the habitable zone are also so well suited to support life. It resembles the Earth because of its own molten core and atmosphere, both of which could be lifted off of our planet for all we know. Strangely enough, this planet that orbits around a white dwarf instead of an actual star actually has way more water than the Earth does. Can you believe that? The Kepler's discovery, K272e. The K272e was first noticed by the Kepler Space Telescope, and while it is surprisingly similar to the Earth in terms of construction and contents, it is still a little difficult for scientists to probe into the exact nature of its atmosphere or surface. The issue is that we don't have yet all the information about this planet to put together the puzzle and have it figured out entirely. We do know that it is rather rocky and about double the size of the Earth. The K272e is closer to its sun compared to our Earth's position in the solar system, and it is such that one side of it is continuously exposed to its sun while the other side permanently faces away. This could technically mean that the lit side is unbearably hot and the other remains encased in cold and darkness. But we don't know any of that for sure yet. The most fun part of it though is that because of this precise reason, the planet should have a variety of climatic zones all over its surface. Naturally, the possibility of life existing at some point on this climatic spectrum is very high. The TOI 700d with its oceans and clouds. NASA is definitely a stalwart when it comes to discovering new exoplanets, and the TOI 700d is one of their many finds. In fact, this was a result of NASA's extensive mission to gauge whether the existence of Goldilocks planets was a myth, and boy were they pleasantly surprised. The star that the TOI 700d orbits is actually inferior to ours in terms of size and surface temperature, and this planet is the one most externally placed in this system, which has 3 other planets. While its star might be smaller than ours, the planet itself is over double the size of the Earth. Let's talk a little about the planet itself, shall we? It is more or less rocky, and its atmosphere is rather generous in its carbon dioxide content. In fact, the side that surfaces the sun is covered with dense clouds, while the entire planet is covered by an ocean. Obviously, rocky landmass juts out of it. It is very likely that the side that is away from the sun is buried under ice caps too. Do you see the number of parallels that scientists can potentially draw between the TOI 700d and our very own Earth? The Earth 2.0, the T-Garden Star B. What is very amusing about the T-Garden Star B is that it is almost a replica of the Earth in terms of size and mass. The environment of this planet is also very possibly going to be a mimicry of a temperate Earth environment, with temperatures like a temperate summer that any human being would love to frolic in. Oh, by the way, if you're a fan of temperate summers, don't forget to comment on what your favorite thing about them is. The biggest difference between this planet and our own is perhaps that it completes one revolution in 4.9 Earth days. It doesn't really matter very much though. If anything, a New Year's party every 5 days sounds a little exhausting. But human beings will definitely find something to celebrate at Earth-year intervals. The red dwarf at the center of the solar system is also strangely subservient to the Earthness of the T-Garden Star B, because, unlike a majority of red dwarfs, it refrains from sporadically emitting harmful radiation. Once the scientists figure out the atmospheric composition of this planet, this will officially be the planet closest to being able to sustain carbon-based life forms. It can't possibly get more convenient than this. The only problem is that, with the technology we currently have at our disposal, a spacecraft will take 30 Earth years to get to the T-Garden Star B. To be very fair, the mere thought of surviving in a Cowboy Bebop kind of universe, where humankind has spread over to a multitude of solar systems and planets beyond Earth itself, seems to be downright outlandish at the moment. Oh, and if you didn't get that reference, watch Cowboy Bebop and let us know if the space cowboy lifestyle would suit you. Once we figure out a way to travel the ridiculously large distances from our planet to one of these, we will definitely be traipsing up and down. If the very concept of interplanetary space travel, or living on a planet other than the Earth, gives you literal chills, leave a like and share this video with the other space enthusiasts you know. Oh, and don't forget to comment down below to let us know which one of these planets you'd be the most interested to inhabit. That was all about for today. Do subscribe to our channel so that we meet again when you watch our next video.